Alright, so this is what Deku was Loki Part 2. Now, guys, I'm doing this pretty late, so I'm going to speed this up. So, basically, I last left off on the combat training arc. Let's get to the USJ event. Basically, guys, Deku goes back to school after, going back to his house. Deku goes back to his house, going back to his home, and I did get some, quest and some, actual really good respawns on what if Deku was Loki ships. So I got Momo. I got a couple others. I was going to do what was it? Jinx, the girl that can shapeshift. But I but I already did that ship for what if Deku was Todoroki. What if Deku was a Todoroki? So I'm gonna do what if Deku was Momo. Heart. I'm gonna do what if Deku was Momo. I'm gonna do Deku X Momo. Now, I already did a couple other Momo ships. I think I shipped a Carnage Deku with Momo. So yeah, sometimes I do be forgetting which shipping, or which ships I'm be doing. But guys, pretty much 50% of all my what-ifs are gonna be shipped, or be involving into a ship. So if I don't have a what-if that doesn't have that, I'll warn you off the bat on the first what-if. So yeah. So Deku basically goes to school the next day, walks in class 1A, and everybody's getting ready until they get to their hero course. They get greeted by Ozawa. Ozawa explains to the class they're going to the USJ. They get ready and they go on the USJ. They're on the bus, and pretty much everybody's asking about their quirks. They eventually ask Deku about his quirk. Deku explains that he has an illusion quirk that is pretty strong. So, obviously lying because Deku is really resourceful, like, Loki. So they get up and they walk out of the bus when they get to the USJ. They get to the USJ, they get the same speech by 13, but Deku looks over and he sees the portal open up and all the villains come out. Everything happens, and Azawa starts folding people, villains, and tells 13 they get the students out here. 13 rushes to the door, but he gets folded by the Shadow Court guy, and everybody gets separated. Deku, next thing he knows, he's falling down to the ocean area. Deku's trying to do something. Deku is trying to do something, but for a short amount of time, Deku's hands start becoming really cold, and his hands turn blue. And for a quick second, Deku made a ice construct under his hands, making some sort of pretty much what you would say ice boat slash just plank on the water so Deku can float on it. But a couple minutes later, about 30 minutes, it started to melt, but he got saved by Froppy. Froppy rushed Deku back into the boat, and Deku was told by Froppy how they're gonna, do this. So Deku explained, well, let's do the simple thing. Pretty much Deku grabs, you would say, what was it? Yeah, Deku grabs Froppy and says, hold on, and throws her into the water. Mineta going like, what the hell are you doing? Now, I don't remember if I replaced Mineta or not, but just for now. So Deku makes an illusion spell around her, making her invisible in the water. So pretty much Froppy gets told by Deku about, his illusion, what he's doing. And Froppy immediately swims under the water to the shore, getting out there with no harm. Then Deku grabs Mineta and chucks him using his Frost Giant strength, getting him halfway across the water area, making both of them invisible using Deku's illusion magic. Deku jumps into the water with Mineta swimming down, and getting bumped into a hero, breaking Deku's illusion. Mineta is fast enough to get out of the water before the villains can notice his illusions breaking, but Deku gets swarmed by a couple villains. But Deku's Frost Giant side starts manifesting. Deku's skin turns completely blue. He gets all his Frost Giant markings, and his eyes turn yellow. Deku grabs all the villains and freezes them solid, killing them. Deku swims up to the surface, and when he swims to the surface, his Frost Giant, side goes away, making him look more human. Deku goes To the shore, gets to the shore, and his frost giant form is nowhere to be seen. So Deku walks over there. So Deku, when he's in his frost giant strength, frost giant form, Deku's about the same size as a frost giant in the MCU. The frost giant is pretty much about the same height. Pretty much, I think like pretty tall compared to the Asgardians in the MCU. So yeah, and pretty much, I don't understand why they didn't include any other frost giants other in they didn't include no more frost giants other than the in the first movie. Like they just killed off the frost giants because it was absolutely no more frost giants. Or not even Easter eggs of the frost giants later on in the Thor movies. So I don't understand what happened there. The frost giants are pretty good, villains. I don't know why they didn't bring them back. But yeah, Deku gets about the same height as a frost giant in the MCU. Now Deku walks in there. Everybody's singing this. The whole time. All Might versus Nomu going down. Deku sprints off, pretty much just ditching Robbie and Mineta, getting out there as fast as possible. But Deku gets stopped by Shigaraki, and Shigaraki goes for Deku. Deku dodges, but he uses his illusion spell to make himself invisible, but makes an illusion where he is, making Shigaraki not feel like he's touching Deku, and Deku makes illusion of his body, disintegrating. Deku faking his own death. Froppy and Mineta are going crazy. Mineta sprints off, getting out there as fast as possible. Froppy goes for a punch. Shigaraki dodges and got to grab, Froppy, but an invisible force pushes Shigaraki into the water. Shigaraki gets up from the water and looking around, gets to the shore, and pretty much tells Nomu to, finish All Might. Nomu's going hard and hard and furious on All Might. The Shadow Guy interrupts in the second, you know, All Might's about to, get, mollywopped by the Nomu. Deku in that quick second, while he's still in his invisible illusion spell, Deku takes out his dagger and stabs the Nomu straight into the eye, and then stabs his other dagger straight into the Nomu's brain, pretty much just twisting it and constantly stabbing it over and over and over again, eventually killing the Nomu. Deku Deku sees that All Might gets let go by the Nomu, and the Shadow Court guy's about to go for another hit to Deku because he sees Deku, but he gets interrupted by heroes that show up, shooting Shigaraki. They get out of there as fast as possible, retreating, and Deku gets back up, pretty much seeing that his illusion broke. Now, pretty much, Froppy and Mineta haven't seen Deku yet, and a couple other people that looked at Deku and Shigaraki the whole entire, fight thought Deku was dead. Kirishima, Bakugo, and some others thought Deku actually died. Now, All Might hasn't seen Deku yet. He only saw, a green jacket when he was getting saved. So Deku used his, invisible illusion spell again, fleeing the, um, building, making everybody think Deku's dead. Now, pretty much, they call Inko about how Deku died and all that other stuff. All Might, pretty much, they're getting ready to do a funeral, getting all the preparations in order, and about to pay for all of it. But Deku shows up to the funeral after they all pay for it, and this funeral happens in the matter of the days they got off. So the day before they go back to school, they had Deku's funeral. Deku shows up there, pretty much opening up the coffin before they do their prayers and saying that I fooled you all, you idiots. Everybody is like going like, what the hell? You're alive, man. And pretty much All Might saying, I paid for this. Your mother didn't spend a single dime, Midoriya. I paid for all of your expenses. We did a fake funeral? What the hell? Pretty much Deku says, okay, I'll pay you back. Now Deku basically just made an illusion of his mom. Now Deku's illusions, if he uses enough magic, can become physical enough, so Deku mostly uses most of his magic for his mother. So yeah, Deku pretty much says, blah blah blah, I'll pay for it, expensive, I'll pay you back. So Deku pays them back that last day, all of them, for pitching in and making Deku's funeral. The pastor's being like, I was just wasting my time. And pretty much Deku goes back home, getting getting some text messages because later on that day at the funeral, Deku did give Momo her number. Now Momo, if you get this, Deku bought his house at the Momo residence, near the Momo residence. So Momo came over to Deku's house. Then in there, you already know what they did. They have a little, they have a good relationship. If you get my drift. But yeah, Deku goes does start dating Momo then and there. But next day they get back to school and everybody's talking about the sports festival and how it's going to be lit. Now, guys, for my Loki what if, I'm probably gonna be fitting in two arcs at the same time. So guys, buckle in because I'm doing the sports festival arc. Let's get into it. So Deku gets ready, getting his goes to the sports festival after the couple of days, and Deku, I'm pretty much goes to the sports festival. Everybody getting ready, and Deku's in the waiting room, wearing his horn crown and his fingerless gloves and some of his rings, and his daggers in the back of his pockets, illusionized to be invisible and not be able to be seen. So pretty much, Todoroki walks in the door, tells Deku that I'm gonna beat you, blah blah blah. Deku doesn't say anything and just says, get the hell out of this room." Todoroki smirks and says, "I'm gonna beat you," and walks out. Deku is confused, but just shrugs it off. So Deku goes to the sports festival. Everybody gets ready, and pretty much midnight explains to everybody that doing the first task. It's going to be an obstacle race. They get ready, and instantly everybody gets frozen, or their feet gets frozen by Todoroki. Todoroki spins off. Deku um, pretty much breaks through the ice using his frost giant strength and running over to pretty much Todoroki. In the short amount of time, Deku did train a couple of times, figuring out how to transform into his frost giant strength on command, but he can only do it about 3 times a day, or else he'll start feeling frostbite on his body. But he can, pull it to maximum. The maximum Deku can transform into his frost giant strength for each transformation is 2 hours, and the minimize that he can transform multiple times a day is about 6 times, or after 6 times, he immediately gets frostbite all around his arms, legs, and torso. So yeah. So Deku transforms to his frost giant form, running past everybody, using his ice powers to make an ice slide under his feet, sliding at the same speed as Todoroki, kicking up to Todoroki. Todoroki freezes the robot. It falls down. Deku breaks through the robot using his ice, pretty much using his ice powers to make ice claws to cut through the robot. Deku cuts through the robot. Kirishima and Tetsu buzz through the robot, looking around, pretty much getting explained by President Mike about their quirks. And Deku does get an explanation by President Mike about how Zuko Midoriya, superhuman strength and illusion magic, be able to use ice and transform his body at will. If he uses it too much, he gets frostbite. Pretty much, Deku did excel his quirk thing to President Mike so he could read it. So yeah, Deku is running. Gets to the pretty much mountainside. It's pretty much easy. Deku uses all of his frost giant strength, using making a huge ice bridge across the whole entire mountain area. Deku runs over it, and at this point, Deku's frost giant strength has gone away because he's used up all of his 2 hours for his first transformation for the day. So Deku runs and runs and runs, sliding down the bridge, breaking the bridge with the minimum frost giant strength he has, cracking it just a little bit for the pretty much bridge to break a little bit, falling down. Now, Deku isn't as strong as a full frost giant in his human form, so Deku is, incredibly more stronger in his frost giant form. We'll get into that later. So Deku goes and walks off, and Deku is walking and walking and walking, and he gets to, the mine thing. Now, when I said walk, I mean run, but yeah, guys. So Deku's running and running and gets to the pretty much, mines. Deku makes illusions of thousands of him running across the mines, and Deku slowly, tiptoes between the mines, slowly and slowly and slowly. Seeing Deku run around the mines left and right, seeing a couple other decoys of Deku's illusions doing the same, movements as the real Deku, tiptoeing between the mines. Everybody's confused with which the real Deku is. And they don't want to, go over there and check and push over Deku, or else, the mines next to them might go off because, well, they're going to be able to push Deku down. They're going to have to be next to him. So they don't want to do that. So everybody slowed down a lot. Todoroki just freezes the floor around him, freezing the decoy Deku's in front of him. Nothing really happening because, well, Deku's not using his physical illusions. So Deku gets to the end, and runs off. Now Deku is using a little bit of his invisible illusions, making some people think Deku's not there. Todoroki's surfing and surfing and surfing, and eventually they hear that Zuko Midoriya got first place. Todoroki and Bakugo are confused. They get to the pretty much finish line and they see Deku there, pretty much smirking at both of them. So after that, they go to get ready, and they get told their next match is going to be a game of horse. Now, pretty much they get ready, and Deku gets the same team that he got originally. Deku gets Ochaku and Tokiyami. So Tokiyami and Ochaku are the horses, and Deku does make a couple of physical illusions of himself holding Deku. So Deku pretty much has the banana on over his horn crown, getting ready. They get ready, and they sprint off. Deku's with them, going off, and Deku summons a couple of daggers, throwing them left and right towards, other components, slowing them down. Deku goes for his Frost Giant strength, becoming more heavier, but his other, illusions of himself turning into his Frost Giant form, making them a little bit more, sturdier. So Deku starts throwing ice spikes towards other, competitors, taking them out left and right, getting actually more points. Eventually, Deku just has enough and uses all of his remaining Frost Giant strength for his, second transformation to make an ice dome around him. Todoroki makes an ice pillar trying to break through the ice, but Todoroki's ice is from human. Now, Frost Giant's ice, I think they're stronger than normal ice, so basically I'm just going to make Deku's Frost Giant forms ice manipulation OP compared to Todoroki. So Deku's going to be a lot more stronger in ice manipulation than Todoroki. So yeah. So Deku makes an ice dome for about the whole entire game. No one can get in or out of it, and Deku wins automatically. So Deku breaks through the ice thing, melting it down, and everybody's, Deku's crowned the MVP, winning. So after that, they get ready for the waiting room. Deku gets stopped by Momo. Momo says, "Do good out there," and Deku says, "You too," and pretty much they share a kiss. So after that, Deku walks into the, pretty much waiting room, and everybody's told that they're doing 1v1s. They get ready, and Deku gets told that he's going up against Shinso. Now, Shinso is about to, do some bad stuff to him. Pretty much start, talking trash about Deku and how he's a smugless, monster and blah blah blah, and pretty much saying that green is a horrible color change. Pretty much just disking Deku, trying to roast Deku. Deku ain't having it, and pretty much just shuts up, um, pretty much this guy, and pretty much drop kicks him straight out of the ring. Now, pretty much everybody, he's kicked out, he's disqualified, Deku wins. The next rounds, everything else happens the same. For the Deku also has actually extra round against what was it again? Sugar Rush. Yeah, I wanted to do this. He has an extra round against, the Sugar Rush guy in Class 1A. So the Sugar Rush guy runs over the Deku, sugared up, and runs over the Deku, about to go for a punch. Deku dodges it and throws a dagger right in the guy's foot. Now, Deku does go for a drop kick straight to Deku's face, straight to Sugar Rush's face, knocking him out. using his Frost Giant strength a little bit. So Deku, wins, and after that, everybody else's match goes the same. So Deku doesn't, get mad at Todoroki, Tokiyami, because Tokiyami didn't really, hurt Momo. Momo did say told Deku that she felt like she didn't, do enough. But Deku says, you did good enough, and blah blah blah. So Deku basically just shrugs it off, and they get ready. So Deku gets ready for, Todoroki, him and Todoroki. So Deku walks into the match. Todoroki walks into the match, and they get started. So Deku runs over to Todoroki. Todoroki makes a huge ice wall off the bat, and Deku transforms into his Frost Giant form. Pretty much, guys, this is sort of what Deku looks like in his Frost Giant form, but not exactly. But, with the, hair that I showed you in the last photo. But yeah, Deku, basically, he ain't like this. Deku has, more ice, appendages, like ice spikes on his back, but get into that later. I couldn't find, the accurate picture I'm imagining Deku looking like, but this is the closest I can get. So Deku pretty much walks over to Todoroki, making a huge ice wall, going up, left and right with ice attacks. Deku goes, for more, lethal ice attacks because frost giants do have the ability to make ice constructs like swords, clubs, shields, other items like that. So Deku's making ice swords and ice clubs and shields like that, going left and right with Todoroki, slicing Todoroki, getting up some cuts. Eventually, Deku doesn't really care about the whole entire fire thing. About 10 minutes in the fight, Deku's getting the upper hand, completely just bodying Todoroki. Todoroki sees that has no other choice and uses his fire side for a split second, doing his awakening move, pushing everything out. Deku is using all of his remaining strength, making an ice, pretty much making a huge ice dome around him, constantly reinforcing it with ice left and right every second, regaining it after every second Todoroki's melting it. After that, Deku does get a little burn marks, but he's still, the dome's still up. The dome's still up. Todoroki falls into the ground. Deku breaks the ice and throws an icicle straight at Todoroki's head. It's still down, so it just breaks off of Todoroki's head and knocks him out. So Deku is crowned the winner, and the next match is Bakugo. So Deku gets ready, going into his Frost Giant strength, his Frost Giant form again, getting ready. Deku runs over to Bakugo. Bakugo goes for explosion to Deku. Deku dodges it, grabs Bakugo's arm, pretty much breaks it with one punch. Bakugo gets knocked out because of the pain, and Deku wins. So everybody's confused. Pretty much Deku did have a longer fight with, Todoroki, because he did give Deku a run for his money in his ice abilities. And Deku just wanted to see how skilled Todoroki was in. But Deku didn't really, give a shit about Bakugo, so he just took him out quick. So Bakugo was crowned, second place. Todoroki was crowned third place, and Deku was crowned, first place, like my man should have been in the first, canon. But yeah, Deku is, crowned first place. Momo rewards him, if you know what I mean. So yeah. So guys, basically this is the end of the US. This is the end of part 2. What if Deku was Loki? See you guys later. I also will be uploading What If Deku Was a King Part 2 and What If Deku Was Spider-Man Part 3. See you guys later. And I also will be uploading a new What If, but we're going to do that later, guys. So I hope you enjoy What If Deku Was in a Turtle, and What If Deku Was a Loki, and What If Deku was, and also, guys, go in the comments, guys, thank you so much for the amount of subscribers and how much you've been supporting my channel. Thank you guys so much. I didn't really think my channel would go up this far, but thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. So, guys, I hope you enjoy my what if, and I hope you have a blessed day. See you guys later. Bye.